Hi, my name is Meredith Benson, and this is Kitty, and green is my favorite color. This video chronicles my journey to escape the rat race of the corporate world and find financial freedom. Let's get started, shall we? My grandfather had 3 strokes in December of this past year. Luckily, they were mild and he survived them, but it was stressful listening to my mother and her siblings dole out responsibilities for caring for Bampa. I know other families have the same problems trying to juggle their own lives while trying to care for elderly parents. I had an idea. What if I started a service called the Occasional Helper to meet the needs of this target market? The idea was not just to run errands for the elderly, but it would start out that way. I contacted several local retirement homes to see if my services could be used. Unfortunately, I did not get any responses back. The more I thought about the time commitment for this type of work, the less interested I became in pursuing it. After deciding that pursuing the Occasional Helper venture was not for me, I started thinking about what my core passions are. I spoke with several of my closest friends, and they all asked me why I didn't open up a venue where bands could come and play. I'm a self-proclaimed concert junkie. I love music, and I attend upwards of 50 concerts a year. Workplay in downtown Birmingham was my inspiration for pursuing this idea. I started looking for potential buildings and locations. I found a place that I liked that was in a great location, but it was in disrepair. It needed so much work done to it that I looked into options for a more sustainable, eco-friendly construction. Doing research for that, I came up with a concept for the venue. Not only would the building be eco-friendly, but everything inside would be recycled or reclaimed. The bar would serve a large selection of organic beers, liquors, and other drinks. All bottles, cans, cardboard boxes, etc. would also be recycled. This is how I came up with Green Bar. The biggest challenge was raising enough cash to buy the place. The seller, unfortunately, was not willing to negotiate on the price. After speaking with a trusted advisor, I was advised not to sink such a large amount of cash into something that was an unknown. I would have to table this venture for a later date, when it was more financially feasible for me. In doing the research for Green Bar, I learned a lot about cost savings associated with going green. I am always in search of new ways to save time and money, so why not do my part to save the environment at the same time? I grew up on a farm in rural Alabama, and with my father being a forester, my sisters and I saw firsthand how fragile and adaptable our ecosystem really is. I started a blog called Green Grits, with the GRITS acronym meaning Guys and Gals Raised in the South, and focused on money-saving, environmentally friendly solutions for busy Southerners. The first thing my dad asked me when I told him I started a blog is, "You're not going to become a hippie, are you?" Being environmentally friendly is often associated with being a tree-hugging hippie that doesn't shower. I'd like to change that perception amongst Southerners and show that going green can be cool and save you money at the same time. I made lifestyle changes and blogged about them, and I even started evaluating eco-friendly products. I think differently now, and I'm always looking for new ways to lessen my carbon footprint. I hope to bring awareness to how easy it is to go green while erasing the stigma of being considered a hippie. One of the biggest things I decided to do when I decided to go green was to make a commitment to change my lifestyle and to recycle. I live in a municipality where a recycle bin is provided, and they pick it up every Wednesday, so I really don't have an excuse not to. I found that there were so many things that I could recycle instead of throw away. You want to check your municipality's website, if they have one. Just call the Chamber of Commerce, see what they do recycle, if they recycle anything. Some of the biggest things, I don't know if you guys get junk mail, flyers, magazines. I get a million of these a day, and they can all be recycled. Same with newspapers, and if you like soda, all of these can be recycled. One of the things to look at, and one of the things that surprised me was all of these things. I would have thrown this away normally. If you look on the bottom of plastics, you'll find that there's a little triangle, and it usually has a number inside of it. The numbers 1 through 7 can be recycled. So make sure to check that. Even if you're on the go like I am, I'm never at home most of the time, and if I am, I don't have fresh groceries. So I eat a lot of frozen dinners. I can recycle the packaging, which makes me feel better about not cooking, but Again, I look on the bottom and there's a little recycle symbol with a number in it, and it's actually number 1 on that one, so that's recyclable. Some of the other things, if you go fast food, I found that I went to Wendy's the other day. I look on the bottom, this can be recycled. It's really easy to do. Anything and everything can be recycled. Paper towel holders and toilet roll holders, they can all be recycled. Any kind of packaging that your food comes in, any kind of packaging, if you get things in the mail, the packaging can be recycled. Just make sure that you look for this little symbol. Even if it's not there, I recommend going ahead and putting it in the recycle bin. If nothing else, they can throw it away for you. But at least you didn't throw away something that could have been recycled. So I challenge you to look at everything that you are throwing away and see if you can make a difference. I will say, since doing this, I have reduced my trash by over half, and I have, in contrast, I've doubled what I actually recycle. So look at everything that you throw away, challenge yourself and your family, and see what kind of a difference you can make in your community. Kitty likes to recycle, don't you, Kitty? What we like to do is take her outside, get the Furminator, and brush that undercoat out so that she has a more enjoyable spring and summer. And we can recycle the fur. Instead of throwing it away, find a new use for it. Let the critters outside find another use for it. Once you've finished brushing your pet, clean out the brush and toss it into the wind. While I thoroughly enjoy finding new ways to reduce my carbon footprint and save money, I didn't feel this was something I could make a living at least not for several more years. The idea for Viridian Enterprises was born after a painful trip to the Department of Motor Vehicles. When I showed up, a sign on the door said, "We do not accept credit or debit cards. All payments must be made by cash or check." At that time, I did not have any checks, so I had to leave and go to the nearest bank, which wasn't my bank, to withdraw cash. That caused me to incur a fee of $3. I wondered why there was no ATM in the DMV, but I thought it could be an opportunity for me. What would it take for me to buy an ATM machine, place it in the DMV, and collect $3 each time some poor person came in without his checkbook? I started doing the research and found a business partner willing to take a risk with me. We crunched the numbers and found that we could split the cost of starting this venture without having to take out a loan. Starting a company with no debt, no franchise fees, no monthly processing fees, and no employees to manage sounded like a perfect fit for us. I chose the name Viridian because it comes from the Latin word viridis, which means green, and that's the color of money. My business partner Roy and I could split the responsibility of refilling the cash in the machines as needed and keep our day jobs until Viridian really started making us cash. As part of our research, we did an ROI analysis. What you see here is a sample analysis of what our ROI would be depending on how many transactions the ATMs have per month. The example we used here was 200 transactions per machine per month. Each of those transactions would charge the user $2. Subtract the 25 cents per transaction we would pay the location owner and the charges for monthly phone service, and we're left with a net income of $328 per month. At that rate, the machine would be paid for in approximately 11 months. In speaking with my trusted advisor, this venture with a partner was questioned. He stated, "Going into business with others is often a sign of fear. Two people often get less done than one," he said. My response to that is, if you know how I live my personal life, I can tell you that fear is not an issue. Anyone that can jump out of a perfectly good airplane or off a stable bridge doesn't have an issue with fear, as long as safety measures are taken. The person I chose as my business partner is responsible, organized, and has the same goals as I do. Trust me, I did my homework. So where do I go from here? The domain viridianenterprises.com has been purchased. My partner Roy and I have a lawyer and an accountant working with us to set up our LLC, and we are finishing up the paperwork for our business licenses. As soon as that is complete, we will set up a business checking account and place the order for the ATM machines. Our goal is to make $2,500 net profit by Q4 of this year and to purchase 3 additional ATM machines by Q2 of 2011.
While my journey to financial freedom may seem a bit schizophrenic to most of you watching, I've learned that there are endless opportunities for me. I don't have to stay trapped in my corporate cubicle forever. I'm more aware now, and I actively look for ways to turn something negative into a positive cash earning opportunity. Luckily, my favorite color is green.